I was recently contacted by the delightfully spiffing people at Mr. Jones Watches, asking whether I would collaborate on a video. As a fanboy of the company, and one of the reasons I got into this horological pastime, this request was a no-brainer. I already owned what I considered to be their magnus opus, the perfectly useless Afternoon, as well as their Last Laugh. But these are relatively recent models in the history of Mr. Jones Watches, so I chose to take a retrospective look at one of their earliest timepieces, one which helped shape their design philosophy and yet remains fresh and relevant to this very day. It was in 2012 when the moon, feeling full of itself and in one of its more romantic phases, gazed at the sun's radiant glow, and voila, a new star was born. This was an era when our phones, not watches, were telling us the time with digital precision, creating an opportunity for someone to produce a watch which was less about utility and more about creating a sense of whimsical fun. Enter Mr. Jones Watches. Before Mr. Jones, watches were mostly, well, just watches. Often stern, serious affairs with hands that pointed dutifully to the numbers, like tiny judgmental fingers wagging at your tardiness. Legend has it, and by that I mean I'm just making it up as I go along, Crispin Jones was looking through the cliched fog of London, struggling to discern if it was 3 o'clock or just past Tuesday, when he was struck by a bolt of inspiration. From the creative depths of a bustling workshop, which likely smelt faintly of tea and jammy Dodgers, Crispin, along with the designer and printmaker Fanny Shorter, had an epiphany. What if, they mused, time wasn't a rigid, unforgiving master, but a delightfully absurd journey through a cartoon sky? Why use boring hands, they thought, when you could use the tiny sun and moon gallivanting across the dial like celestial beans on a Jaffa cake-induced sugar rush? And just like that, the sun and moon was conceived, and quickly became a champion of unconventional time-telling, on one of Mr. Jones's watch's most popular timepieces. But I would argue that the sun and moon is more than just a watch. It's a horological statement for your wrist. A conversation starter, which proudly states the time as sunshine o'clock or past moonlight. Mr. Jones were kind enough to send me one of these watches, so let's take a look at it in more detail. Okay, let's take a look at this watch, sent to me free of charge from Mr. Jones, just for transparency. Thank you, much appreciated. I think it's going to be a standard package here, like normal. Yep. Upside down, because we're down under. And there we go. Your indispensable pivots to the sun and the moon. I do like the back of these watches, I think they're lovely. Okay, let's take a look. They will slide out, and towards the display window, Mr. Jones Watches, and a little card in, which hopefully is the instructions on how to read the dial, because it's not standard. And yep, there they are, and in full detail as well. It works on a 12-hour system with the daylight and the nighttime. And there you go, that's the watch as it comes. We'll take off this one. And I do prefer the leather straps, I must admit. I do find them softer. And you can tell this one's in the daytime. It's the sun's there, yep. MJW, Mr. Jones Watches on the buckle, and sun and moon on the back. Crafted in London by Mr. Jones Watches, and their logo there. As you can see, it's daylight here. It's early morning, so yeah, nice. It's clean, yet it has its own little quirkiness, which I like. So there you have it, the Mr. Jones Sun and Moon. Great little watch, another one in their collection, which is, I think, fantastic. So, what did I actually think overall of this watch? Let's find out. The Sun and Moon operates in its own unique multiverse, which still makes more sense than any Marvel movie, with the design slightly reminiscent of old jump hand watches. Instead of hands, you'll find a rotating disc, featuring, yep, you guessed it, a sun and a moon. The day and night on the dial slowly journey across the crescent-shaped sky, replacing each other on a 12-hour rotation. The sun's longest ray, or the tip of the quarter moon's crescent, point to a particular marker which signifies the hour. For the minutes, things are more straightforward. With the sun and moon frolicking across your wrist, the discreet little pointer subtly indicates the minutes. In a world obsessed with atomic precision, the sun and moon dares you to be a little bit more fuzzy about your timekeeping. Who cares if you're 5 minutes off? You're too busy admiring the celestial ballet on your wrist. While others may flaunt their expensive horological masterpieces, you can proudly wear a watch that shouts, "I care more about whimsical design than impressing anyone with complications that neither of us fully understand." My mate Dino's probably shaking his head at the eccentricities of this watch, and while I recognise that it might not be for the faint of heart, or for those who rely on split-second accuracy, it is most definitely for those who appreciate a dash of artistic flair, and serves as a gentle reminder that time is ultimately a human construct, best enjoyed with a bit of playful irreverence. While this watch might put a smile on my face every time I wear it, please don't blame us if you show up everywhere approximately 3 suns late. Overall, it's a watch that the Unconventional Watch channel highly recommends, and one we think would grace any collection. Until the next time.